How's it going, everybody? It's your boy McWhoopin, and today we are back with yet another episode of Cities Skylines. And today we are going to work on our university, which we're going to pop in right over here. Next thing we're going to do is we're actually going to pop in some mass transit, because this area does need it, plus it'll help us get everything all upgradey, so that's going to be good. And then if we have time, we are going to move up here and start putting in some industrial, which I still really want to get this done, but I might not be able to do that in this episode. Try to leave this up to about an hour and a half of recording that I kind of condensed down to a half hour. So we will start getting going right off the bat and start the time lapse as I begin with getting our university going. And I'll just turn this over to daytime so we can see what the bloody heck we're doing. So yeah, we'll get going and I'll see you at the end of the time lapse. Okay, so first things first here, I'm just gonna get myself the asymmetrical road to get myself turning lanes for both sides, then just grab a nice little decorative roadway to get us through the university area, and then finish it off with another asymmetrical road so we have dedicated turning lanes, and just kind of tidy it up a little bit, and that's pretty much all we need. Now got the administration building, pop that on very beginning, just we have our area. Now paint the campus, cover this entire section over here. That done, and there we go. Now I'm bringing some water, got done. Now if I need to put any more in later on. There we go, so that's the start of our liberal arts college here, and now we'll pop in a nice little path to connect to the roads, and then pop in a couple of dorms so we have places for people to stay, and then just try to figure out what else to kind of put over here. First things first, get the cafeteria so they have a place to eat. There we go, and just try to find something that'll work, and there we go. That'll do for now. Still not certain on that, but we'll may change that if we need to. And now just time to put a little bit more here and there, find things that we want. So we'll pop another roadway so we have a little more access, and then start putting in some bigger, larger buildings and parks in here. Getting to fill in as much as we possibly can in this area. And then, of course, before I forget, actually put in the grant in there so we can actually get the what's it called? The thingy. Oh my god, my mind is going blank. So yeah, back to doing this. So we're getting some paths going so we actually can walk around campus as we need to. Of course, I'm having occasional issues with just having the paths just not wanting to connect as far as we want to, so there we go, kind of stretching it around and popping in a few more paths to the roadway so that there's walking access. Popping in some of the smaller buildings all around here, trying to see if something else will fit over there as well, because our club, these ones seem small enough that to put them on the edge here, not have them be too much of a detriment over there. So we want to try to find something smaller to put over here. I'll put in a statue just to make it easier, and then pop in a couple more smaller buildings, and swap that around so we have it work a little bit nicer for spacing. Sprinkle on a few things down the main road. Now I'm trying to start putting some of these bigger ones in. Make it easier, just pop it onto a pathway. Let's just move things around a little bit to get things to fit, just because I'm not liking the fit on that stand. And there we go. A little bit easier to put that in the right spot. That to the road. And I'll leave this as is. There we go. Got at least some of the buildings being used right now are getting going, but still really early. Just pop in, sprinkle a few more little buildings here and there, kind of fill in the capacity. And I think we're putting in a sports arena, and now just put it on the other side. We'll collapse it in so it's in its own separate area, but still part of the campus, which you can move other buildings over there later on if you feel like it. And now I'll just put in a little square about there to kind of make it easy to drive in and out, and then pick a nice big honking stadium so we have our beautiful stadium here, so we can have our sports team, and where we're going to make all of our money, because you know, the NCAA, that's where all make your money is in the schooling, so might as well keep on doing it that way. And now that we got that done, let's just go and start doing our mass transit. And here I decided I'm going to do monorail, because you know, you're always going to want a genuine bona fide 6-car monorail. You know, if it works in Ogdenville and North Haverbrook, it'll work here. So, get the track going all the way around. We got 6-lane going through the main drag, and then a 4-lane going through the bottom. But this section here, for some reason, is just not connecting. So, we're trying to figure out what the heck's going on. Nothing's kind of working here, so trying to see if it's a connection issue. But, you know, realizing that it's actually more so a issue with the road just not wanting to connect, so just moving the node to have it nice and round together. That kind of helped with that, and there we go. So now that it's closer, now you actually have the fully connected loop in place. And now it's time to pop in our stations, which of course wanting to be difficult, and of course having anarchy on, it's kind of popped itself over top of the road. So come back through, delete this, start again. A little more space, so pop that in the middle there. And we'll try to redraw the path together. There we go, and use the touch it mod to adjust the road. Just keep on popping in stations all along the path. Try to keep them well enough apart, but not too far, so we have lots of coverage and make a lot of people happy. I want to have at least 3 in the top part there, and then a couple on each side of the bottom portion there. We connect all of the roadways together, and now using the touchless mod to upgrade all these roads to 6 lanes. A little bit of adjusting there to fix that one up. There you go, so the 4 lanes in there. Upgrading that one to the 6 lane, so everything looks all nice and pretty. Not all the roads kind of work, but try to connect the stops, but connections just won't work. Trying to connect from one to the other and not wanting to connect the routes, which is kind of odd. Keep on trying different things, seeing maybe turning, having the route going, maybe it was a power issue that it wouldn't connect, but all of them are powered now, so they're all showing up as actual stations, but none of them are wanting to connect, which is kind of odd. Like, the roads are going through, everything should be connecting just fine, but for some reason they're not. So trying every single station, try to see maybe it's a connection issue between stations. So if it is, then some of these should work while others won't. So don't know what's going on here. Everything I'm trying to think of, like, nothing's working. It doesn't matter the station, you can't connect. So it's not a rail issue with the connection. It must be something else, and don't know what it is. But so end up going online to fix this, to figure out what the heck is going on. So yeah, at this point here, trying to can't do anything. So this point here is pretty much where I give up. And I go online to try to figure out where it is. Nothing helps. So I download a couple of different mods and assets for different stations to see if that'll work, and reinstall those. Plus I try to do a few things offline, just try to see if I can get connection to work, and they eventually do. So get that done and get back to the game. And so yeah, so now I'm putting in I'm trying to put in the old stations back in, because as I said, I noticed that putting them in, basically they work, and so I'm like, okay, well, if they work if I don't actually use the touchless mod, that should be okay. So now I'll pop in mods like so, pop it in like that, and these actually are connecting properly, which is good. So of course, pick the right road usually helps. So now putting in all stations back into place, everything is how they should be. Get this last couple in here, which I forgot to actually do. There we go. And now connect to the stations, they actually connect. So looks as if it was the touchless mod that was having the issue, so I wouldn't do it before. But I remember in the last city when I actually used the touchless mod, the monorail worked fine. So this is kind of odd as to why it isn't working on this one, but it was working in the other one. So my thought is probably was just the fact that I did this before the and for the I did use the touchless mod before doing the line. So this in theory should fix it. But you know, me from the future realizing that doesn't, and so I end up finding another way of actually getting this done. But here we go. So at least since we got this working at the moment, we'll do a nice little view of the station, drive through, and of course I'm gonna change the vehicles to the downloaded asset that I have, which is the actual Springfield monorail, because why wouldn't I want this Springfield monorail when I actually have it? Because it's the greatest monorail of all time. And there we go. So now we got the monorail on each line, except for this one, which I got to delete those two. There we go. So the line is working. And of course everybody's happy. There's lots of people going on it. There we go. And almost got the people. Still have to wait on the academic works, but that'll come. Now using the touchless mod again. See if I can actually get this to properly work. So now touching it with the 6-lane. And the 4-lane on those ones. Oh yeah, now the line still looks like it's running, and it's still going through just fine, but now it's saying that each one of those has a connection issue, which is kind of odd. Now looking up here, I notice all of the trains are not moving, which is kind of weird. But yeah, now that I got the line running for the monorail, we're going to kind of get the line over here done, but yeah, this is kind of odd. I think this might be a train issue. I think just since some of these trains are way too long, I'm going to have to actually turn off some of these train assets because they are just too big for them to properly work. So I think that might be one of the issues, which I'll figure that out later on. But these things kind of go, and here I'm trying to actually adjust this so it's only passenger lines on one and the rail lines on the other, cargo on the other one and passenger on the other. And I'm just trying to delete trains to kind of get things to start going again, but they just trying to be so many issues, like this train here, these trains just causing so many problems of trying to connect. What's going on here? I'm going to be spending a lot of time just trying to fix this because this is being a pain in the butt. Yeah, so start going down here. We got like trains having seizures on the middle of the road, which is kind of annoying. But I'll kind of forget that for now. I'll kind of go and try to finish working on my road right here, so I can actually get some industrial going. Because I'll be working on that forever if I don't. Yeah, so one of the things I kind of wanted to get done was having a passenger line over here as well, and a cargo line. Actually, it chose the wrong size of the road, and of course it's also too high up, and so drop that back down to ground level, pop that in, drop that in like so, and then come over here and grab the cargo line, because this is going to be my industrial area, so I'm going to want cargo lines going in and out. And then want to pull a kind of a bypass so you don't have to go through the station. And looking at just how much everything's backed up, I'm like, this is probably going to be an issue, but kind of keep them going, builds this network a little bit better. Of course, that one there kind of goofed up on, and the mouse button moved at that last second like it always does, just to annoy you. And pop in a little snaky roadway over there, and now start going more of the straight road, connecting everything up. And both top and the bottom there, so we have this longer road access, and then just popping in little bits all around, so not filling it all in at once, just kind of getting bits and pieces of it kind of filled in, so when it needs industrial, I have a spot to put it. And of course, start getting water lines going through along the road. Try to keep this realistic and loop it together. Get this top layer over here, so that one's done. And snaking around little windy roads. Pop it in there, and the rest of it is already connected, so I don't have to worry about that at all. There we go, so I got a couple of lines in there. A couple of buildings in there, but not much. And now the fun task of trying to fix this god dang rail, which my road traffic, fantastic, no issues whatsoever. There's just no trains are wanting to move. So one of the things, first thing I thought, we'll build a second line and kind of keep the passenger cargo separate, kind of like what Biffa did with the issues of rail in the last episode of the 5 Builders One City thing, where he completely redid their train line. But so trying to get that going through here, and then run it down, have parallel line, run it together. And then adjust the points a little bit so they have a little more spacing between them. And then there we go. So just have it assigned for one for each. Readjusting this so they have them on the correct path farther down. Make sure I do that correctly. And now, time to build an overpass. Thinking about actually doing it diagonally, but it doesn't quite work, so then build a kind of a sweeping wide train path to go there over top, so you have the connection going one way. And sweep it down on the other way. Again, kind of the long sweeping path, and then run that all the way up and manually adjust it so it's a little closer to each other. The opposite direction so the trains can connect both ways. And now trying to create a couple lanes here, but those trains are annoying and in my way, so you can't really tell where the tracks are going, so we'll just try to delete all those. And put the bypass lane in the middle between those two. There we go, so those two can connect to each other. And then create a parallel line side there for passengers, then jump that over to the other side so these guys have the access. And so run that down, and then sync and run that upwards, but for now at least just kind of connect them all together again. this farther down. Maybe keep the parallel line running until about there, and then because we're going to be having to do more anyway, so just kind of leave it like that for now. And forgot to connect this over here. So line in, those two in like so, that one in, those are connected. Looks like they're kind of running. That side looks okay. And this looks like a problem because the entire line did not actually adjust itself properly. So now we'll redo that and actually give it into a bridge. And didn't connect that together, so lots of things didn't connect, so there you go, that's properly connected now. Now the issue of the lines doubling up and trying to go up the one side, which is annoying, so won't let anybody escape. Such a backlog that's going to take forever. And of course, as we have some really long trains, that makes things even worse. And we got a bunch of people just randomly waiting at the side of the station, at the side of the tracks. And so, just double check and see what these issues are, if they're still happening, and yeah, everything's still kind of backing up again. So, turn off, or turn on, what's called, despawning, so we can start getting rid of the excess trains, at least for now, and then hopefully that should solve the issue. Also double check the lines, which make sure they are the right ones in the right spot. And one thing I did notice is I actually did miss one of these, which I did fix off camera afterwards to make the vehicles run in the right lanes. But you know, like a lot of the vehicles only go in the one way on that one. It's kind of odd. Like I said, I know the issues that I did, and I have fixed them offline. I had to do a lot more work offline to get this to work properly. Hindsight being 2020. It's also double checking connections to make sure they are properly connected, which all the junctions they look to be properly connected through. Which, as I said, there's one issue of on this track over here, those two tracks. I did the restrictions on that one, which I did fix up, as I said, afterwards. But yeah, so it's still same issue of vehicles just not wanting to properly go into the right tracks, and there's also so many trains that are just wanting to go in. That's clogging up the system. So thought new option, well, actually double up the lines. So I'll put a line in on each one, and we'll see if that helps things out at all. See if we can start getting those passenger lines going through. See if we can fix that. But we've gone through enough, so it's time to finish off this episode. But there we have it. So we're gonna finish this here for tonight. We still got plenty of issues with a bunch of stuff which we're gonna finish off camera to kind of fix the train issues, get that all sorted out. But as I run that here, so remember to like, share, subscribe, and all that. This definitely helps the algorithm, helps the channel. So anybody who does that is always truly appreciative. And even if you don't, just watching is always fantastic for us. We're always thankful for that. So once again, I'd like to thank everybody for watching, and have yourselves a good night.